Ayat nga agahon, coming to you live from Numancia, Aklan, in Western Visayas in the Philippines. Let me just put my laptop here, make sure I'm online. I gotta make sure I'm online, make sure I don't want you guys not to be there and I'm just talking. Let me see here. Hit the live here. I'm having my morning cup of coffee on my coffee with Gino cup here. My Copico Blanca. Copico Blanca is my choice of 3-in-1 coffee here in the Philippines. It's coffee, cream, and sugar all in one powder form. Put it in your cup, add hot water, and you have a nice cup of coffee. All right, Kevin Shores, hello, Bill Meyer, hey, Bill Meyer, good morning, my friend. All right, so, hey, Manila Gorilla, all right, Martin, I think Martin, right, Martin, hello, sometimes I get all the names confused because like with the YouTube handle, so many people on YouTube, but welcome this morning to the live stream. Just getting my day started here. I've been awake though. I've been editing a video earlier. I just finished editing a video. I shot a video by Pastrana Park. Really getting festive here in our town of Calibo in Numancia. Opening a lights in Calibo for the capital area where our the governor's office. Man, it's like they set up that whole area really nice. Opening a lights is on Monday, December 8th. And then they'll have another opening of lights December 14th at Pastrana Park. That's the biggest one. The biggest opening of lights here in the whole province will be at Pastrana Park. Lots of fireworks. At the end, they'll have an event. They'll have singing, caroling, all kinds of things. And then a finale of like fireworks. And the fireworks here, man, it's like amazing. Every time they do the fireworks for opening of lights, it's like at least 20 minutes, 25 minutes long of like intense fireworks. They really like want to get in the festive mood here. That's why big celebration here. A big deal to them here in the province, opening of lights. JP, hey JP, good morning. Hey, good morning everyone. All right, how did you know? Hey Daniel, hello Daniel. I started my live stream. Usually I hit my live stream around 7:30, but Leanna doesn't have school today, but she has Kumon. So once I'm done with the live stream this morning, we're gonna head to Calibo this morning for her Saturday Kumon. Kumon is her academic, additional work, academic with mathematics, English, reading and comprehension. So about an hour and a half in Calibo. So what I do is I drop her off Kumon. I'll walk around at Pastrana Park. Usually I'll find breakfast. Last weekend I ate at Paris Retiro. So this time I might look for another place in at Pastrana Park. Many restaurants at Pastrana Park. Yeah, Jollibee, Paris Retiro, Mary's Refreshment, Crispy King, Mang Inasal. I mean, there's so many restaurants in that area of Pastrana Park. That's why I always tell people that come to Calibo, I always recommend staying at the GQ Plaza Hotel or the Labero Suites. That way, you're right there. You're right there by Pastrana Park. There's so many things. Restaurants, the cathedral is there, the museum is there. Pastrana Park, so much activity that happens at Pastrana Park during sunset. You won't get bored if you're in that area. It's kind of like to me, Pastrana Park is kind of like the heart of Calibo, the heart of the town of Calibo. My Boracay brother. Yeah, thank you. I saw your comment. I replied back on the comment on the ferry ride. And we will, for sure, Daniel. We're gonna head to Boracay. The minute you get here, if you want to go to Boracay, we're always there. Like I've said many times, that's my happy place. Boracay is my happy place. DM, JP, all right. Morning, storm approaching. Yes, yes, Michael. Michael W. in Masbate Island. I'm looking at the windy app. I'm looking at the windy app here, and it's right on top of the tropical depression Wilma, Wilma. The 23rd, man, 23 typhoons this year. That's uh, pretty high number. Usually we don't get to that far. Usually 18 to 20. That's the average. This year, the 23rd typhoon, tropical depression, right on top of Samar right now in Leyte. My good friend Belus. Actually, the colonel is all. He's at Belus's house. They did a live stream together yesterday. I saw them together doing a live stream. So, and I know James and Karen and Tonton. They were headed to Leyte, but they kind of got stranded. I think in Cebu because the ferry. That's the thing. You know, when there's a typhoon here, the ferries, the Coast Guard, what they do is they stop ferry travel, boat travel is what they'll do. But I'm sure James will come up with something to do, you know, until this tropical depression passes through. Kevin Shores, you should go to Cebu City to Mactan City. Manila Gorilla. Mike, how's the ankle? I mean, New Mactan City for New Mactan City. I've been to New Mactan City. I've been to Mactan Airport a couple of times. We flew out of there before. Very nice area, like Kevin Shores here. That's the airport area. If you're in Cebu, you gotta fly out of Mactan Airport. You all forget to give a thumbs up. All right, no worries. On my forehead, on my forehead. All right, there, Mike. Can you pray for me? I can't sleep. All right, I'll pray for you. Go to sleep. Go to sleep. Hopefully, you can go to sleep there, my friend. How far are you from the ferry to Boracay? All right, my house here in Numancia, Aklan, it takes me an hour and 15 minutes to the ferry. And usually I park my car by the ferry. There's like a parking where I leave my car. You can stay overnight. They charge me about 200 pesos per night. There's a CCTV on the parking place that I select. There's a guard. You know, it's like never had any issues leaving my car there. I've left my car there 2-3 days and no issues at all. And then you just walk to the ferry, really close. Like I said, I can leave my house here. Like at 6 a.m. Before 8 a.m., I'm on Front Beach in Boracay. I can be having breakfast at Real Coffee. This is only a 15-minute, you saw on the ferry, Daniel, it's only a 15-minute ferry ride to from Caticlan mainland to like Boracay Island. I can actually go faster, but I drive slow. I'm not like super, man, I don't go above 60 kph on the highway here. 60 kph is I drive like an old man. It's like, I'm going 60 kph, kilometers per hour, which is only like 39 miles an hour is how fast I go on the highway here. I don't go fast, man. I take my time, especially the windy roads, the mountainous area by Ibahay and Nabasaklan. I'm always careful. I'm never in a rush, no rush for, if I get behind a big truck with cargo, I never pass. I just chill. I'll ride because I don't need to get into any kind of accidents. I'm all about safety, man. I'm always about getting to point A to point B as safely as possible. Never in a rush. I'm retired. What do I got to do to be in a rush to go anywhere? Still swollen, Martin. All right. Hopefully, man. Heal that ankle. Michael. Sergeant, JP, hi, Bruce. I will pray for. All right, thank you. Hopefully he can go to sleep, man. I know that's a big thing, man. It's like not getting any sleep. If you got insomnia, that's not an easy battle fighting insomnia. JP, hello, thriving, Daniel. All right, Manila. Kevin, all right. Lisa, all right, all right. Thank you, Michael. Kill. Do you listen to Bach? No, I'm not. I'm not big on classical music. Once in a while, if it's playing, it's like I appreciate, but I'm not a classical music kind of guy. Good morning, Ray. Good morning, Ray. Ray has arrived. All right. Hey, Gus. All right. How's business at Los Polos Hermanos? How's business? It's all right. It's like selling more chicken. So we're selling more fried chicken. Aloha, aloha. Good morning. Hey, all right. Bright-eyed and bushy tail. All right, Derek. Aloha, my brother. Aloha, my brother. Good morning, Martin, Michael, Daniel. All right, just joined. Good morning. Be safe in the new typhoon coming. I thought typhoon season ended in November. No, it doesn't really end until December because I've been here 14 years and we've had the biggest typhoon I've ever experienced in my 14 years here happened in 2019 on Christmas Day. On Christmas Day, super typhoon Ursula landed here. It hit us here in Panay Island in our town here of Numancia. We did not have electricity for 1 week. Things and it was like it was like early in the morning. It was raining, but during it was Christmas morning. It was Christmas morning, like 6, 7 a.m. And it was just like debris was flying all over the air here. Lots of rain, lots of damage on our national highway. Actually, there was like power poles drop, and then once one dropped, it dragged several. That's why we didn't have electricity in Numancia for like 1 week, and that happened on Christmas Day 2019, super typhoon Ursula. So we're never out of typhoon season here until January. In January, pretty much. January will be the start of they'll start the alphabet again. Right now, we're on W, the letter W, Wilma, number 23rd typhoon for 2025. Usually, we get our first typhoon in the Philippines July. You'll get the first. January to June is like, if you vacation in the Philippines, that's probably the safest time. January to June. If you don't like the weather, if you don't like typhoons, but if you vacation in the Philippines anytime from July to December, you're in the bucket to get a typhoon. It doesn't matter where you live in the Philippines. A typhoon can hit the Philippines at any time from July to December. All right, Derek, do listen to the Beatles. Oh yeah, man, I'm a big. That's my generation. The Beatles. My older sister listened to it. When I was a kid. So I know all Sergeant Pepper, Lonely Heart Clubs Band. Hey Jude. I know all the and the Beach Boys. Man, I'm from California, man. I went to high school in California, and even back in the '80s, the Beach Boys were they were playing that music in Long Beach. I listened to a lot of Beach Boys. I love that. Love those two music, man. But the classical music, Bach, not so much. I'll listen to it. I appreciate good music, but it's not something that I would play on my, play the music and listen to it all the time. Nothing wrong with it. It's like, everybody's got their own taste in music. JP, I sleep better now that I am practicing. All right, frugal retirement. All right, because you're not worried about money anymore, JP. You'll get to that point. Everything takes time. It's like I was gonna bring that up today on my topic. I have a topic to discuss that. Everything takes time. When you come to the Philippines, you can't expect when you land here. That's why all I'm trying to do when you guys come here, I'm trying to get you a soft landing. Ease the burden of adjusting here, because there's a lot to adjust, especially if you've never been abroad. For us military guys, it's a lot easier because I was 20 years in the military, traveled all over the world. I've seen crazy things at different countries. Nothing surprises. If I see something, it's not going to shock me. But for somebody that's never left the United States, when you come to the Philippines, man, Philippines can be quite a shock, and there's a lot of things that you'll see here that nobody told me about that, or no, I didn't see that on YouTube. You will experience things like that here. It takes a while. It takes a while to adjust here. Don't be too hard on yourself. Like when you land here and you're having a hard time, or you're like, man, I really don't like this, I really don't like that. Most people go through that. Most expats that I know, their first year here in the Philippines is a big adjustment period. It's really like make or break for them whether they're gonna like it here or not, because just so many things. The waiting in line, the bureaucracy of government agencies here, the rain, the rain or the heat during the summer. I mean, it could be a multitude of things that can but I think if you give the Philippines a chance, in the long run, most expats that do end up staying here, they say, oh yeah, the first year was kind of difficult, adjusting to traffic, how people drive, or how they don't follow any rules. That's a lot to like absorb all in one when you land here. Take your time. If it's your retirement, there's no rush. That's the thing. It's like I notice a lot of expats when they first land here, and I've had a discussion with this with my friend Michael from That Philippines Life. We've had discussion at the Canadian Beaver before, where he noticed it too. A lot of expats, when they get here, they overthink things. Everything is like, my SRRB visa, my tourist visa, my everything. They're just like overthinking, stressing on nonsense. Just let it go with the flow. I always teach people, man, go with the flow. It's like, it will all work out. It's like everything happens for a reason. If you're running into like a roadblock or whatever, nothing can not be solved. Just be patient. Ask people here that's been here already. Ask them. It's like it will help you adjust here to the Philippines. Learn from the people that are here. It's like there's many people on YouTube. People like me. Ask us questions. That's what we're here for. That's what I do. YouTube is to help people. So it's like, if you ask me, I'll guide you through it. I at least will have suggestions for you on how to handle every single situation. And you will run into roadblocks here. You're gonna run into things here that will aggravate you, especially your first year here, because especially if it's something that you've never experienced before, or how the inefficiencies here of like processes. That's a big thing with like expats here. I know they get frustrated with like the everything takes so long. Everything's like, somebody's got to validate something. Sometimes, people giving you receipt using carbon paper, writing your name. Just everything takes time. So a lot of adjustment. But I think once you get through it, once you get through that first year of adjustment, I think you're gonna love it here. You're gonna love it here, because then you're gonna realize a lot of the nonsense that used to stress you in your home country. There's a reason why you're coming to the Philippines when you come here, right? Something you're just, either you want something new, or you want something experience new. A lot of times you want to meet a Filipina, because that's the truth. It's like it's hard to meet an American woman now. If you're in America, it's just not, if you're in your 50s or 60s, it's almost impossible to date in America at that age, or meet a good person. It's like that's why people come here. That's why people come here to the Philippines. Good to hear. Don't let oh no, don't let Walter. Well, Walter blew me up, man. Walter worked with Hector Salamanca and blew me up, brother. Hey James, all right. Good morning, James. I'm eager to find out the update now. I was trying to watch you did a live stream. You were telling about I saw the video, James and Karen of James and Karen Adventure. Man, I was rolling, man. I was laughing so hard. James went to the top of the ferry. And like James was saying, man, they don't block that. They don't have any sign that says warning, attack dogs, Cujo. Cujo is up there. No warning at all. James, he always goes up to like the top of the ferries, puts his Starlink so he can get a good Wi-Fi on the ship. and him and Tonton went to the top of the ferry. It looks like the captain, he's got a nice, captain had a nice bathroom there. Tonton even mentioned that. And they're like, next thing you know, I see James holding the camera. He goes, oh crap, it's like, okay, start running. It's like Cujo, the attack dog was like chasing them, but they made it out. They didn't get bitten by the dog, which is a good thing, brother. Good thing you didn't get bit by the dog. But I was just telling James, man, that's like an experience that they'll talk about for many, many years. That's just so funny. It's like Cujo, man. Cujo's like, Cujo was on the attack, man. But I know you guys are their boat got canceled, headed to Leyte, so I'm sure James will update that on his videos, on his live streams, what the plan is. James is, he's like go with the flow like me, it's like if this path is blocked, you can't go this path, go another path, it's like, I know James doesn't sweat the small stuff. He's just like me. To James, everything's an adventure. And to me, that's how I look at things too. When we vacation in Pandan Antique, the first day we were there, it was downpouring, it was rain. It didn't stop us from swimming in the swimming pool, in the rain, when there's a break in the weather, I walked on the beach, To me, rain doesn't ruin my vacation or ruin the things that I do. You just, to me, it makes it more memorable. Now, we'll remember that our first day in Pandan Antique in that beach resort was like looks like there was a typhoon, but not a big deal. We'll always, Dazzle and I will always talk about it. Kevin Shores, do you like eating barbecue satay sticks? Yes, I do. I've had it in Singapore. I've had satay in Singapore, dip it on that peanut sauce. But I also like the pork sticks here in the Philippines, where they put their barbecue sauce here. I think there's a mixture of ketchup in there, ketchup. But they cook everything here: pork, pig ears, what else? Just about any part of the pork or chicken intestines. I eat all that stuff. I'm Filipino, man. So the only thing I don't really eat here is balut. I'm not a fan of balut, but the barbecue sticks, man, if you grill it, cook it like well done, crispy on the outside, kind of like charcoal on the grill, man, I love that stuff, man. Bacolod was like that with Typhoon Tino. Yes, we're not out of it yet. Like I said, not out of the typhoon season yet. If you move Philippines, an emergency generator like Blue Yeti or Jacker. Yes, I got it. I'm actually hooked up. I always charge my stuff. My Blue Yeti, it's the size of a car battery is what I have. Once this runs out, I've had this now for 5-6 years. So when this one goes out, I'm gonna get a bigger one. But I'm also this coming year, I'm gonna put in some solar in my house. Not full solar, enough solar to power a refrigerator and freezer. I'm gonna get a small setup of solar power, because they're getting cheaper now. It's not expensive now to get a solar like it used to be. It used to be like, for me, I was like, man, that's too much money. But now I can see the value, because having solar at least cut down on your electricity bill every month. So eventually it will pay for itself. So now to me it makes sense. Emilio, good morning, Beach Boys. All right. I saw some of your messages, man. I started the live stream, so I'll read the messages later, Emilio. Emilio and I, we had a great time hanging out yesterday. Mom and Dazzle, they went fishing at Loola's Fish Farm. Me and Emilio, we just sat down. We just chit-chatted. He's talking about the Philippines. He's thinking of someday retiring here in the Philippines. We had like lumpia, we had pancit, all served at the Loola's Fish Farm. We didn't have to bring any food. Buko, fresh buko, we had fresh buko. And then the first 2 tilapias that Mom caught, they actually grilled for us. They actually, man, the minute you catch fish at Loola's Fish Farm, the people there, they'll clean the fish. You don't even have to clean the fish. They'll clean it for you. They'll grill it for you on the barbecue grill. How awesome is that, right? It's like, so the first two fish that mom caught yesterday was part of our lunch. It was part of our lunch. Dazzle and mom, they ended up catching over 2 kilos of tilapia. Lots of tilapia. They had tilapia for dinner. Last night, I was already full from like eating so much during the day. I had a pancit, I had a lumpia, some of the tilapia. And then I took Emilio to my favorite buko pie. Man, they got some awesome buko pie here in Lezo. So while they were fishing, Emilio and I took him to like my favorite buko pie in Lezo, Aklan, had ourselves a nice buko pie. And then I even took him to the Wilcon Depot. Wilcon Depot is kind of like the Home Depot here in the province, here in the Aklan province. Gigantic home, compared to Home Depot, and there's a lot of American goods, a lot of like that you're familiar with, like from generators, from barbecue grills. I even saw like I had my eye on that thing. It's like a barbecue pit with a smoker, all charcoal or all wood, really nice. It's I forgot the name brand, but you can tell it's imported. It came from the United States. I think they were asking like $250. I'm gonna have to save for that for my birthday. This coming, that might be my gift to myself on my 60th birthday, because I love barbecue, man. If I can and I want to do barbecue right, on the side where you put the charcoal and the wood chips to smoke it, smoke like ribs, do these ribs for like slow cook it, smoke it for like, that's, so looking forward to that. I might have to purchase that this coming year. Thelma, hey Thelma, and my good friend Dean in the outback in Australia. All right, good morning everyone. Good to see you guys. My good buddy Dean. Dean has one of these cups. I gave Dean one of these cups. I handed it to Thelma so Thelma can bring it to Dean. And he sent me a picture. He was having Copico Blanca. It's like I really get a kick out of that, Dean. You're a cool dude, man. I appreciate the support, brother. Michael Manalastas, my good friend in Northern California. Magandang umaga, kapatid. Mabuti ako, I'm doing well. Northern Cal, I know, man, Northern California. It's been many years since the last time I've been in Northern California. In the 80s was the last time I've been there, so I'm sure it's changed. I'm sure San Francisco's changed from... Fortune, good AM, Gino, the Panay Posse, all right. Good AM. Man, there's a long list. Fortune, there's a long list. Thank you, Fortune. Fortune saying hello to everyone. Ray saying hello to Fortune. Hello, Master Yoda. We will all be smarter because you are here. I know, right? Our Master Yoda. What about... what is that? What about, I can't read, 3i, I'm not sure what that is. 3i Atlas, I'm not sure what that is. Letron Nights, I know. My old school, I went to my elementary school, kindergarten to 6th grade. They made our school, Letron College is my school here. They made it to the NCAA finals in basketball, and that's always big here in the Philippines. Basketball is like the #1 sport here. Good morning, JP from Ray. Also UAAP, the UP, University of Philippines Maroons, they're also in the UAAP, another league. There's the NCAA and then the UAAP, they're in the finals. Let me just do the weather real quick before I forget it, before I skip over it. Basically, the weather here says, as of 3 a.m. today, the center of tropical depression Wilma, and I'm looking at the windy app, it looks like it's right on top of Samar and Leyte right now, because on this 3 a.m. it says it was still 70 kilometers east. So it's moving, but it's not moving fast. We're actually here in Aklan, we're signal #1 already. So we're gonna get rain. I mean, it's raining this morning, not hard. but we're expecting more, pretty much rainy day today. And Emilio was telling me, he sent me a picture earlier, it's going to be raining the next couple of days here in Aklan province. Eastern Samars is here. The gustiness is 55 kilometers per hour. So that's not very strong for a typhoon, 55 kilometers per hour. Not the strongest winds, but with these tropical depression and its storm, it's the rain sometimes. You don't know how much rain it will bring. So it says here, Visayas, which we're part of Visayas, Romblon, Masbate, where Michael W. is, Agusan, Dinagat Islands, the rest of Bicol region, Quezon, and then even Mindanao, pretty much is going to be affected by tropical depression Wilma. Let me see if Metro Manila, even Metro Manila, not affected by the typhoon, but they're affected by northeast monsoon, the Amihan season that we're in now. So the whole country, pretty much of the Philippines, is gonna, wherever you are in the Philippines, you're going to get rain today. It's like probably rain the next couple of days here. UP Maroons, I'm back. Wi-Fi went out for a minute. All right, good morning, James. Okay, I don't get that one. Hey, there's Lowell, Kumusta? Mabuti ako, kaibigan. Salamat. Mabuhay, Lowell. God bless, my brother. God bless. Good AM, Lowell. Good morning, Gino in the chat from J-Boy. Hey, Lowell, called BPO remittance in Tukwila, Washington. Good morning. All right. I can send $500 to myself in Calibo for $10 cash. That's not bad. That's not bad if you can send that. That's not bad. $20 debit card and pick it up at any BPO bank. All right. That's not bad. That's not a bad fee there for their service, JP. Hello, Fortune. Ray, I have sent cash to Gino via Remitly. Yes, for his first month's rent. But went to set up multiple ways to move money. Yeah, that's perfect, JP. The more ways you can send money to yourself, to anybody, when you're here in the Philippines, the better. You do not want to be here in the Philippines and cannot access your money. That's that's gonna be bad, because then you'd have to go back. If your bank does something funny and close your account, or don't let you access your bank from the Philippines, unfortunately, you'll have a lot of people I've known, they have to go back to the US, to fix that. So the more ways you can send yourself money here, move money to the Philippines, the better it will be for you. What would you do? They use for charcoal. Plenty of charcoal here. JP, you can buy both. They have the same charcoal that you have in the US. You can buy charcoal like that at SNR, but they have the local charcoal. Local charcoal here is really cheap. Yeah, you can buy a bag of it for like 20 pesos. It's like they make charcoal here. The locals, I mean, you can get it anywhere too, like public market, on the side of the street, sari-sari store. Because here, when you come here, JP, you'll see very common here in the province of Aklan. People still cook with wood and charcoal. There's homes here that don't have electric cooking or gas cooking. They still look the clay pot. They cook rice on the clay pot, and they cook all their meals. Kind of like we're in the mountains. We're Karen's nanay, and tatay in the mountains. Everybody uses wood still in the province here. Easy, charcoal is easy here, and inexpensive here. I remember Dazzle told me grandma and grandpa, when they were still alive in Katiklan, that was part of their income, was making charcoal and copra. The coconut oil, copra, that was some of what Dazzle's grandparents used to do. Fortune, cooking, GP. Eugene, good morning, friend. Like is done. Hey, appreciate it. Only 19 days to go before Christmas. Tomorrow is 18. Wow, wow. You're me. I haven't really paid attention, man. I haven't really paid attention. I've been busy, busy with things, I know it's sneaking up. I know Christmas is sneaking up on me here. Absolutely. I use Remitly to send to my GCash and send Palawan Pawn Shop for pickup. $5 fee. Not bad. $5 fee. Yeah. There's so many ways. There's so many ways. And, it's really up to the individual how, I don't, it's like, I know many people use many things. You go on Facebook pages, they'll recommend different things. You just have to find out what works for you, what you like. I mean, there's so many companies now that the remittance, sending yourself money here in the Philippines. Everybody just did. I know everybody does it differently. It's like I've gotten money from MoneyGram, from Remitly, from Zoom, from you name it, Western Union. It's like different people just got prefer different ways to get their money. You should do a collab with Tim. Tim is a YouTuber living in Cebu. He's also an expat. All right, Kevin. I really don't do a lot of collaborations, because I just never did. I think I did one with Ray. He told me he wanted to do a collaboration. And I did a video with James. We were sitting at the first time we met, over in Balete. I haven't done many collaborations because to me it's like it's hard sometimes with the collaboration because like I'm kind of like a go with the flow kind of guy. For collaborations you got to schedule a meeting with the person or you got there's I like doing stuff like randomly off the cuff. Like on my live streams. I just start it whenever. It's like. The scheduling thing, working with other people's schedule, it's like, but I just haven't done it, I guess I also like to just do my own thing, it's like, easy for me because a lot of times if you do a collaboration, you gotta really understand the person and, and I'm careful. I don't want to offend anybody. I don't, it's like, I don't want to say something wrong on somebody else's channel, it's like, and then it'd be an issue. It'd be an issue. I like to keep the peace. If I need cash, I'll send pawn shop. I sent for fee. That's not bad. $5 fee. I mean, anytime you can send yourself money for Israel forever. All right, Israel. All right. Let me go to my topic. That way, let me see here. Let me make sure I save photos of it. On my phone here. Hopefully, it's sent earlier. What I did is I belong to this one group here in the Philippines. It's called Philippine Expats. Expats Philippines is what it's called. And it's just not expats in there. There's a lot of local Filipinos in there too. There's always like somebody will post like this one. It says here, right there, it's from Expats Philippines. And the person posts is there. He goes, what part of settling into the Philippines has confused you the most? It says, is it immigration, housing, banking, or something totally unexpected? I thought that was kind of a good topic. It's like, and then you go through, and this one he posted 12 hours ago. There's already many comments on this post on Expats Philippines. And I'm just gonna go through. I took pictures of some of the posts. That way, I was gonna discuss it. Talk about my opinion. Again, this is just my opinion. The first one here. Let me go through here. I thought there. Some are good. Some are pretty funny. I thought. But it made sense. Like here, that one gentleman. He says, banking was annoying until I had my ACR card. And I wanted to point that out. You will, as a tourist, if you come into a tourist visa here, I'm not going to say you can't open a bank account without that, but I have not seen anybody that was able to open a bank account without the ACR card. And again, the ACR card, when you come here as a tourist, you will get that at your second at your second renewal of your tourist visa. You get 29 days when you arrive here. You get 30 days first extension, and during the first extension, you can't apply for the ACR card yet. You can apply for it on your second extension. So at the minimum, you can't apply for the ACR card until 2 months that you're here in the Philippines. And then after, when you're here 2 months, then you can apply for the ACR card. And I've heard different stories of how long they get their ACR card. Usually I've been seeing 1 or 2 weeks you will get your ACR card. And then with the ACR card, you're able to open a bank account. You're able to get your Philippine driver's license once you get that ACR card. I have yet to meet a person that's, maybe somebody will claim, oh, I was able to open a bank account without the ACR card, but I have not met a person like that. And GCash too. If GCash, you can open a GCash account, but you can't verify it until you get your ACR card. And what that means is when you can open the GCash account, but you're limited on how much. I think maybe 5,000 pesos, less than $100 for the month. That's nothing. You're able to open it, but you can't really use, with 5,000 pesos, that's nothing. But once you get verified, once you get your ACR card, it balloons to like 100,000 or 100,000 peso or more. Then you can really use GCash, once you get verified. But you need your ACR card. So that so he was saying banking was annoying because I'm sure it annoyed him because, since he doesn't have an ACR card, he couldn't open a bank account here. So he was using his ATM from the United States. You can do that. My friend here, he does it. He hasn't opened a bank account here. It's not a big deal for him to withdraw money from his US ATM, charge him 200 pesos, 250 pesos each time because, he got money. To him, it's not a big deal. It's like, but you can do it. Most people, that's what they do. They withdraw money at first using their ATM from the United States. And then that was just part of what annoyed him. The second part, he goes, but noise was the longest problem for me. So the noise. And again, that noise could be the area where he was living. Because you've seen my house, I don't hear any noise here, but depends on where you live in the Philippines. If you live in the city, if you live in Metro Manila, if you live in Cebu City, congested area, noise will be an issue. But if you live here in a province, I don't hear any noise. It's like not an issue for me. So, you can't really generalize. That's my point. You can't say it's just noisy in the Philippines. Most places are. Most places are. But he did have a good suggestion. It says there, the noise bothered him. My suggestion for anyone who is struggling with the noise is to soundproof. And I've seen people do that. They soundproof. Due to great prices on labor and materials, I hired some guys to come and soundproof my bedroom. It was a game changer for me. I don't hear roosters, dogs, or occasional screeching karaoke party. Double ceiling with soundproof foam between the custom boards with soundproof foam on them to cover windows. Labor and materials, all less than 20,000 pesos. So for $350, he was able to soundproof his house. So now you can order soundproof foam strips, squares on Lazada. So he ordered it from Lazada. Additional benefit was the foam and layers work for insulation also. My aircon works more efficiently and room stays cold even after the aircon is off. I regret waiting years before doing it. So if noise is bothering you, the guy had the solution, right? So that's why I like it. It's like, that's why I like going to the expat groups because some of them make sense. Like this guy, noise bothered him where he lived, so he soundproofed his house. It's like a genius in my mind. That's pretty good. All right, the second guy here, this guy, he just, this kind of made me laugh because we just bought the air condition and we bought a new microwave. We bought that black new microwave. The old microwave we had, we passed it along to Dazzle's sister. So we bought a new, I think $50 for the new microwave. Really inexpensive. That's why we decided to get a new microwave. So this guy, so I experienced this. That's why I'm bringing this up, because it made me smile, because I know what he's talking about. Purchasing an appliance at SM. SM is like the big department store. You can buy anything at SM: grocery, clothes, appliances. So this is his. He listed down the steps in order to buy an item, to pick up. So step 1, he says, pick out an item. Step 2, he says here, an employee opens the box. When you buy electronics, like when we buy the microwave, they have to test it. They have to cut the tape, get the styrofoam out, get the microwave out, plug it in, because they want to make sure that it works. And when they tested my microwave, this lady, you can tell she's not experienced with microwave, because I told her, so you're going to test the microwave. She was just going to turn the microwave on without anything in there. I told her, you can't do that. You got to put like a cup of water or something in there. You just can't turn on the microwave with nothing in it. That can't be healthy for the microwave. She was gonna do that, and I had to stop her. I told her, get a cup of water that will know if it heats the water. And it's not good to microwave turn on the microwave with nothing in it. It's like, I don't think that's a good thing. So here it says, step 2, an employee opens the box, takes out the item, and tests it on the bench. When he said on the bench, they put it on the table, they plug it in to test the electronic. Employee fills out a 2-sheet carbon paper form, and I know the receipt. There's a form with a receipt. They'll write your name, your address, the item, handwritten on carbon paper. So I know what he's talking about there. Take the form to the checkout to pay. So she'll give you the form that with the carbon paper. You have to take it to the cashier to pay for it. And of course, when you have to take it to the cashier, there's a line. There's a line at the cashier. You're not the only one that's going to be. So a lot of times you'll stand in line for you got to stand in line there, to pay for the item. So once you pay the cashier will give you a receipt. Then the next step is with that receipt, I go to the customer service counter. That's the counter, wherever that microwave that we bought, whatever department that is, the microwave department, they will now take that over to the customer service department, which is where we bought that Minisu. It was on the second floor. The customer service department is on the first floor. Again, a lot of times when you go to the customer service, there's going to be another line there, because you're not the only one buying a microwave, buying an appliance or anything. So I can kind of say, I feel for the guy when he's listing the steps here. I understand what he's going through in his mind. Number 6, a runner goes to the appliance section to get the item. That's what happens. They will take that microwave from the department, then they were gonna take it to the customer service, where it's gonna sit with all the other pickup, at the customer service. And then what is here? Runner opens the boxes again. That I don't see. I don't see the runner. Usually they'll once they test it, they'll package it and they'll tie a rope on it. Normally I don't see that. It's already just going. So maybe he's over exaggerating here a little bit. Open the box again. I don't see a reason why they would open the box again. But I'm not gonna. It's just steps. If that's what happened to him, then security looks inside if other items in box. I didn't see that happening when we bought the microwave. The runner now has to fill out a logbook with info of the appliance. That I see. When they have to log it, there's a logbook at the customer service. That I have seen, because I have signed on that logbook too, to log out that microwave. I have seen the logbook. And then the runner and items go back to the service counter. Okay, hands the receipt to the counter staff. Staff initials the receipt, hands the receipt and item to the supervisor to verify. I didn't have to go that, but I do know some supervisors have to verify that form, look at the item, make sure. I guess they're really worried about theft here, about employee theft. I guess employee theft is big here. That's why they have all these theft. The runner seals the box again. Ours was already sealed, so he had extra steps on his here. I'm finally leaving the store. All right, the general finally got the item. Like I finally got my microwave in hand, and usually they'll carry it for me. That's one thing nice about here. The employees will carry stuff for you. I've never had to like carry anything, microwave, air condition. I've never had to lift anything here. Employees are always eager to help you. And then finally leaving the store. At the door, yes, this I have to agree with him. At the door, the security guard, well, that's another verification. You have to hand the security guard your receipt. The security guard will look at the item, read the receipt, and he'll put his initials to verify that you're out the door. And this guy at the end, his final comment, he goes, total wasted time, 73 minutes. So it took him 73 minutes to buy an item at SM. Might be an exaggeration because when I bought the microwave, it didn't take me that long. It didn't take me an hour, but I could see it happening. If there's a long line at the cashier, if there's a long line at the customer service, that could happen. It could take 73 minutes. I thought that was kind of funny though, the hell. But I'm glad, that's good that people are sharing this because it does happen, like I said before, you gotta be patient here, it's like, maybe he shopped at the wrong time too. It's like weekends. I don't go to like the grocery. I don't go to a Gran Gaisano. Anywhere here, if it's the weekend, Saturday, Sunday, the malls, the groceries, all them places are going to be busy. Dazzle and I, we always do our transactions Monday to Friday. When everybody else is at school or everybody else is at work. I've just found it to be like a pro tip. Don't go grocery shopping on the weekend. Weekday. It will save you time. It will save you time. All right, let me go back to the comments here. I do not want to get too behind. I got more to add. That I got a kick out of this post, But it makes sense, People are entitled to complain about the Philippines things they like, and to me, it's good information to share. That way, it might help you if you get in the same situation, like that buying an item at SM, and the steps that you have to go through. So at least. Now you know. I'm learning from you, Kuya. All right. Hey, I like that. Hey, Beluz, my good friend, my brother in Leyte. JP, good morning, Beluz. All right. One major concern for me, losing power, so there needs to be a generator or solar. I never lose power for concentrator for my oxygen. All right, that should not be a problem, Lowell, because they do have solar here. What if you get an apartment, you can get like the Blue Yeti, Jackery, the big units now that can handle a lot. They get portable solar panels. There's ways to if losing power is a big issue with you. I would focus on that solar power. That way you have, and that's available now. And the prices for solar energy here in the Philippines has dropped significantly now. It's affordable now, very affordable here to get solar power. Robert Costales, magandang umaga, magandang umaga, kapatid. Thank you for joining the live stream. Hi, sir. Nice seeing you last month sa Boracay. All right. I saw, man, I don't know your handle. It's like I haven't seen that Mark Yon, but hey, if you saw me, it's good. It's like, people, like I always tell people, if you see me in Calibo, you see me in Boracay, stop me, man. Say hello to me because I'm friendly, man. I'm an extrovert. I'm not one of those guys that will tell you, it's like I like meeting people. It's like I meet people all the time. Like Emilio, it's like he asked me before he came here to Calibo, contacted me. So me and him have been hanging out the past couple of days here. Speaking of microwaves, does La Casa Española, yes, it has microwaves. It has microwaves. And JP, with La Casa Española, the reason I chose it for you guys, that's why I recommended it. It's not perfect by any means, and I'm sure you can talk to Edgar. He's had issues with them, and I don't think you're gonna find an apartment here in Calibo that's gonna be perfect. I chose them because they're the most modern out of all the apartments here. And I know how expats are. I know how picky they are. If they go to like a Filipino style apartment, like I stayed at my 7,000 2-bedroom, 1-bath apartment, probably not gonna work for them, right? Look, to me, it's the most modern, secure, safe in that area. A nice walking distance to the area. But what I really like about it is they're not making you sign a contract. No contract to sign at La Casa Española. No deposit, no security deposit. That's big. It's hard to find an apartment in the Philippines where they'll at least ask you for 1 month security deposit, sometimes 2. And there's even condos here in the Philippines where to rent the condo, you have to give them blank checks for a whole year. They want their money. They want to lock you down on that apartment. To me, La Casa Española is just a soft landing. It's better than landing here, staying at the hotel. At least for, I think, 18,000 for a 1-bedroom, 20,000 for a 2-bedroom. You got fully furnished, microwave, stove, you name, everything's there. Nothing to purchase. You can stay there while you're looking for a more permanent place. Because I think Edgar's, he's not happy with La Casa. I think he's gonna move. So just warning you, JP, don't get after me. Why did you put me there, Gino? Because there's been people there. I know Nefty stayed there for 7-8 months, no issues. He likes it there. Mel's been there 4 months now. He likes it there. Not everybody's the same, right? There's gonna be people that like it. There's gonna be people that like it. But so don't hold yourself to that, JP. Like La Casa, if after 30 days you don't like it, you can book, man. You can just, if you don't like it after a week, you can give them the notice. Hey, after my 30 days, I'm out of here. I don't like this place. All I'm trying to do is get you guys to a place where I think it's gonna be a soft landing. There's other places in Calibo that are cheaper than La Casa Española, but for me, I've vetted the area. That area is safe. I've heard no incidents of robbery, people getting mugged, nothing like that at La Casa. That's why I recommend it. They got CCTV. You can walk outside La Casa, walk to the mall, walk to 7-Eleven, everything's safe. I can't say that for some areas of Calibo because some areas are not well lit. Crime is really low in Calibo. You don't hear a lot of crime happening in Calibo because like I've mentioned before, in Calibo, the people kind of watch out for each other here. It's like you do not want to commit a crime in Calibo. Like if you mug somebody or you steal something in Calibo and people catch you, it's not even the police you're worried about in Calibo. It's the other people that catch you because you're going to get a whooping. You're going to get a whooping in Calibo, man. I just wanted to say that because I don't want your expectation to be, oh man, how come Gino put me in this apartment? Because I know I can't please everybody. I know, I understand there's people, I do my best. I actually try not to get involved anymore with apartments and all that because it seemed like there's always an issue with landlords, with tenants. It's like I actually, if you notice, I'm trying to move away from I think in the future I will just tell people, get an Airbnb or hotel, find a place for you to stay. Eugene, shouty, shoni. All right. Fortune, Americans might think that it's inefficient, but SM doesn't care. Yeah, I know, right? They might think it's inefficient. SM don't care. It works for them, and they have proven it. They make so much money. I know, right? It's like, it's the system here. It's the system here. if you're gonna buy something at SM, that's their process. Nothing you can do about it. It's like if you don't like it, like Fortune saying, you can go to another place to buy your stuff. But SM, a lot of times they're the lowest price and a lot of stuff. That's why they get a lot of business. They get a lot of business. Good AM, Beloos. Shopping here, it's on a whole nother level. Oh, another. Thank you, Beloos. Good in ways, pricing a bit high for electrical luxury items such as TV. Yes, especially imported items. If an item is coming from the United States, it's gonna be more here. At Wilcon Depot, anything that's product of USA, anything that came from the United States, there's a duty tax on it. So it's gonna be at least, what is the duty tax? 17-18%, at least on top of the price of the item. And then the shipping, the shipping from where it came from. Electronics will always be more expensive here. Laptops and the quality too. If you buy the laptops here, the good brands in the United States, they're gonna cost more here. That's why buy your stuff, buy a new laptop before you come to the Philippines. You're not gonna find same price. You're gonna pay more for less power, less features on a laptop here. Buy it in the US. Buy it at whatever they have now. I don't know if Best Buy still is around. I'm not sure. That's where I used to buy all my stuff in the US, was Best Buy. What websites is going to talk to Filipinas? What websites going to talk to Filipinas? I'm not familiar with that, man. I know there's like website dating sites, but I don't recommend dating sites. Most of those, if you go on dating sites in the US, for me, the best way to meet a Filipina, come to the Philippines, meet the Filipina in person, because dating sites, it's hard for those dating site companies to like really vet the people that's in there. Yeah, man, you could be talking, you can be talking to somebody else. They might put their picture in there and not be the person that you're talking to. So I don't recommend dating sites. Best to come to the Philippines and meet the Filipina in person. I have been living in 399 square foot tiny home for 6 years as Philippine practice. All right, JP. I don't think you'll have a problem here. Like I said, it's like all I've done, JP, really is like to help you get here, find you like a place to stay. Don't hold me to that. It's like if you don't like the place, you can move. The minute you get there to La Casa, if you don't like it, I think from Edgar and my friend Gray. I'm actually getting upset with the management there also, because I recommended their place, and they're just the feeling that Edgar and Gray is getting is like they're nickel and diming them for little stuff. And I really didn't like how they did Emilio. Emilio stayed there for a couple of nights, and it's an Airbnb, right? Supposed to have, there's a stove in the kitchen, right? And they wanted to charge Emilio 300 pesos to use the stove. I'm like, because it's gas. They didn't provide the gas. I mean, if you're advertising an Airbnb and there's a stove in there, I've never heard that before in the Philippines. So I don't know what's going on at La Casa, but I think I'm not gonna recommend them anymore. I think hopefully JP, you like it, but after you, I'm not gonna recommend them anymore. Miso. Michael, good morning, bro. Michael C. in the Philippines. All right. Rick, what is miso? What does miso stand for? I know miso soup. I've had miso soup in Japan, but I know he always put miso. He always put miso. Emilio, I like the people walking in your background, holding laundry. Yeah, that's mom. Mom's always busy doing laundry. I mean, it doesn't even matter if it's raining. Mom's doing laundry because we have the overhang that she can hang, and the clothes still dry with the wind. The wind still dries our clothes. Hello, Michael C. from JP. Belus, big warehouse lot stores. I find a lot of employees, but hey, That was a. I was telling that yesterday to Emilio. I took Emilio to the Wilcon Depot, and the first thing I told Emilio, watch this, man. We were walking Wilcon Depot. There's gonna be more employees than customers, and it's so true. I mean, we were looking like all the people in uniform, like they have a colored T-shirt, yellow, I think, yellow and green, and it's like there's more people than customers at the Wilcon, and it's humongous. It's like I've filmed it before. I've filmed how big the Wilcon Depot is. And they won't be knowledgeable. The people that working in those Wilcon Depot or Ace Hardware or whatever, it's not like at the Home Depot. If you go to the Home Depot in the United States, they assign people in what department. If you're the gardening department, if you're in the power tools department, that person's going to be knowledgeable about power tools, right? Here, the people assisting you, they couldn't tell you anything about what they're selling, but that's just the way it is. These guys aren't making a lot of money. A lot of times here in the province, they're probably making $7 a day, $7 a day. So you can't expect them to be like knowledgeable about, they're just happy to get a job. They're just hiring, they're not hiring like the most knowledgeable people to sell their stuff. It's just like they just need bodies to like be moving the supplies here, the items in the hardware store. Josh Lee, all right, Ultimate, am I Gustavo Fring? Man, I got a line for you for that, man. I decide what he deserves. Only me. That's Gus Ring, baby. That's Gus Ring from Better Call Saul, baby. Ultimate. Bro, you're the head of Los Polos. I am, brother. I'm in charge. I'm in charge of the whole drug kingdom in New Mexico. How long were you in the Air Force? I was in the Air Force for 20 years. I'm retired United States Air Force, 20 years active duty. I get a military pension. I've been collecting a military pension from the United States Air Force since 2004. 21 years now I've been collecting a military pension. That's why I'm here in the Philippines. That's why I'm able to retire here. I was able to retire here when I was 45. Going on 15 years now, I've been retired here. Just on my military pension alone. I do not have any other income. Well, a little bit of YouTube income now, but I don't really need my the YouTube. YouTube for me is just a hobby. My military pension is more than what I've ever needed here in the Philippines. I live a very frugal life. I don't even spend half of my military pension here. JP, having a place to live when I get there was a huge stress reliever, and that's what I was. That was what I was pointing, JP. The main thing I wanted is like when you land, you got me to pick you up at the airport. Usually that's a big step, right? And then when you land, I'm taking you directly to your apartment. And then whatever you need here, tourist visa, whatever, licensing when it happens, driver's license, looking for, I can help you that. But after that, it's like usually once I see, hey, you're good to go, I think my job is done, just to help people have a soft landing. And I really think Calibo is a great place for a soft landing. I wouldn't recommend it to people if I didn't think so. I've seen it with many people now. They're enjoying their life. Ruben enjoys it in Calibo. Mel enjoys it in Calibo. Like I said, not everybody's gonna enjoy the place, right? It's different experience for different people. I am not expecting perfect. It's the Philippines. Exactly. And thank you for that, JP, because the Philippines is far from perfect. I think people just, I don't know if it's like social media, I don't know if it's YouTube or Facebook, they make it to where the Philippines is paradise, right? You hear that, I'm living in paradise, I'm retired in paradise. It could be paradise, but it could also be like purgatory. It could also be, it's not, the best living paradise situation that you'll find in the world. There's many other places. I think it's what you make of it. It's some people, I just think, come here with such a high expectation, and then they want to come here to the Philippines bringing their Western ideas, like the way to do things. They want to change things here, which is silly. Don't waste your time. Don't waste your time. Nothing's gonna change in the Philippines. The processes here. If you're thinking like, if you're one of those guys, I have a suggestion. They have to do this. They have to do this to improve. Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen here. You have to adjust to the Filipinos. The Filipinos aren't gonna adjust to you. You're just a visitor. You're just one person with all these ideas on how to do things better. Filipinos, they're not gonna listen to you. Not the stores, not the government agencies, not the banks, not the ATM. No, they're not gonna listen to you. You're just gonna be wasting your time. Just, to me, the best way, adapt to the ways of the Filipino, adapt to the way things are done here, and you'll do good. You'll do good if you do it that way. I'm going for the seafood, fishing, the kind of people in adventure. Yeah, you can find it. You can find it, JP. I think, like I've said many times, if you're like the type of person that looks at things half full instead of half empty, you're going to be successful and happier. If you're the type of person that looks at things that half empty, you're going to be half empty anywhere you go. It doesn't matter if it's the Philippines, Thailand, Cambodia. You're not going to, you stay in your country in the US, doesn't matter. If you're like the negative thinker, the thinker that doesn't look at the positive side of things, you're not going to be happy anywhere. Michael C. Best Buy is still there. All right. Best Buy is still there. I haven't been in the U.S., man, in so long, so I don't know if they still exist. I know, I'm hearing so many things in the U.S. like filing bankruptcy and closing and all that. Is Sears still there, man? I heard Sears is no longer in existence. I heard Sears. Emilio, what's odd about Wilcon uniform? Yellow and green. Yeah. You were yellow and I were green. Oh, all right. I didn't even realize that. I didn't realize that yesterday, man. The t-shirts that we wore. JP, I think people view PI videos and see what they want to see. Embrace the differences or risk being disappointed. Yeah. I agree, JP. Good morning, hey, Colonel. Good morning, Colonel. Enjoy every new day. Yes, enjoy every new day. Hello, Colonel. Michael C. Paradise is what you make it here. Great people, great culture. You have to create your own paradise. Yeah, I believe that, man. For me, it was easy, man. Because like when I landed in the Philippines, I lived in Boracay for like 18 months. To me, that was paradise. That was like when I landed in Boracay, the first 18 months, I was on white beach every day. It's like, it was like a vacation for 18 months. It was like awesome. And that's why I've told people, if you're retiring in the Philippines, moving here, find a place where you're going to like, that's why I always tell people, the Filipina, it's easy to find here. Don't be going online meeting the Filipina, because what will happen is like you'll end up going to where the Filipina lives in the Philippines. You're not gonna go to the place where you want to go. It's like if you go online, you're gonna meet a Filipina in Mindanao or some remote province that really you don't want to live. It's like, to me, go to a place where you want to go in the Philippines. Boracay, Palawan, Bohol. Go to like the beach resorts. Go to like these places where white sand, seafood, fishing, go to those places and then meet the Filipina. Because anywhere you go in the Philippines, you're gonna meet a Filipina. It's like, to me, it's like, why be in a rush? Why be in a rush? And you want to meet the person alive anyway. Live, you want to look at the Filipinas' eyes. I hear so many disaster stories. I know there's success stories too about online dating and all that. My James and Karen, James met Karen at Christian Filipina. There are success stories, but I think there are also more horror stories online. There's you don't know what you're getting online. At least in person, when you get here, you're seeing the person eye to eye. You're seeing, you can see how reactions, how she moves, how she's like around other people. You can sense a lot of things that you can't see online. Sears is gone. I know, right? That's what I was thinking. I think I remember when Sears was gone, man. That was like one of the stores that Sears is no more. Fortune, good AM, Michael C. Rest in peace. Hola, hola, Josh Lee. All right, Belus. Rain, if you don't love it, you're not happy in Leyte. I know, right? Like me, rain doesn't bother me. It's like I know from July to December, day to day, it can rain here in the Visayas region, in our region. It can be sunny today, rain tomorrow, be sunny the next day. That's just the way it is here from July to December. Rain doesn't bother me. It doesn't stop me from doing things like if it rains here. I like it. It's cooler. I don't need AC when it rains, so we don't use our air conditioning during it saves me on electricity. LOL, after living in a 50-year-old worn out, tore up apartment, almost any place will be improvement. All right, Daniel. Colonel, MLSO, Mega Love, shout out. Oh, and Mega Love, shout out. Oh, it's MLSO. I thought it said miso. I thought that it was miso. I thought it was a miso soup, Good morning, Colonel. All right, JC Penney's will be one of the next big, at least JC Penney's still around, at least. There are no Snapchat filters if you meet the Filipina in person. That's another thing, right? If you meet the Filipino in person, they can't cheat. They can't cheat. They can't filter their picture. It's like, you see somebody online with their picture, and then you meet them in person. It's like, whoa, is that the same person? It's like Calgary, Alberta. All right, John. All right, John Matthew. All right, I got to the bottom, so I got more. I got more from that topic that I was discussing about this one. All right, this one. I was talking about this person. What part of settling in the Philippines has confused you the most? It says immigration, housing, banking, or something totally unexpected is the topic. And I'm going to read some more. This one, he goes, the flipping dogs. LOL, the flipping dogs. And I know what he's saying. It's like, if it wasn't for the barking dogs from 11 p.m. to 5 a.m., LOL, it would be paradise. And you do, it's like, like I said, you gotta be selective in the areas where you live. La Casa Española, you don't have a problem with dogs there. Maybe some residents might have like little pups in their apartment, but you're not gonna have in the complex itself like stray dogs running around. Maybe on the street, but you're not gonna hear like many barking dogs. There are areas in Calibo where there's a lot of stray dogs. That's just and they will be barking. They're dogs. They're like natural walking around. They're gonna bark. So I can see the guy's point. And of course, not just with barking dogs. When you have stray dogs, you also have poop. So that's one of the things. When I'm walking around Calibo, I'm like watching the ground. It's like I do not want to step on poop. Even though they say it's lucky if you stay on poop. I don't know why they say here in the Philippines there's a saying that if you step on poop, it's lucky. I don't know how that could be lucky, man, to get poop on my shoes. But like I said, in our neighborhood here, you rarely see any dogs or stray dogs on my street here. Another gentleman here again, the noise. This is I think that the soundproof guy was one of the comment. This guy, he says endless noise, and I can see the guy's point. With the endless noise, because it actually surprises me a lot of times. Like in Calibo, there's like really nice cafes. It's like one of it's like Tierra Vega, really nice. I mean, you can tell barista, good desserts, good bread. But when you walk in there, and I haven't been back there, gone there maybe once or twice with other people. I don't get it because when I go to a cafe, I don't know about you, when I go to a cafe, I like maybe I like elevator music in the background, right? You know, it's like I want to enjoy my coffee like in peace, read my phone or a book or something, relax, right? Man, there's cafes here when you walk in, it's like boom, 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 boom. They got like disco music playing. I'm like, what the heck? You know, so I don't go to those places. I do not, that's why I don't end up filming the place because, I've filmed before play. That's one thing about me. The places that I show you where I eat, where I enjoy going, I'll film it. But the places I don't enjoy, I won't film it because I'm not going to ruin somebody's, especially a mom and pop business. I'm not going to ruin their business by saying, oh, this place is crappy. They play loud music. I'm not going to do that. I'm not that kind of person. So that's why the places I do film are the places that I enjoy. I enjoy going. Hayahay Restaurant, John and Nelfa's Restaurant, Argon Cafe, Latte Cafe, Iyagi Cafe. There's many, 8 Ball Tavern, many places that I like. If I don't film it, a lot of times I've tried it, but I just didn't like it. So I'm not going to bash somebody's business or anything like that here. The same guy with the endless noise, it says here, no house has an address, just purok number. Yeah, just purok number. WTF, how do you find anyone? How do you find anyone? And that is so true. Like even here in our community, we have block and lot. We have a block, like I'm block 8, lot 8 is where I live at Camille Homes. But a lot of places, even in Calibo, doesn't have street addresses. There's streets, there's like streets, but a lot of places don't have numbers in the province anyway. I know in Manila they do because when I was a kid, even we had numbers, we had addresses with numbers. Here in the province, not so much. There's a lot, like he was saying, you would get if you have a package to deliver, it'll just say Barangay Huyaw Huyaw, Purok 5. And it could be like a wide space. But they do not have a problem delivering though. Like if you order from Lazada, Shopee, or whatever, they'll get it to you because they use your cell phone number. That's how they find you here. Ninja Van, DHL, whoever. That's how they find and deliver here. You won't have a problem having stuff delivered here, even without the house address. Okay, this guy says, no driving laws. And ATM is always out of money or broken. ATM is really not broken. A lot of times it's out of money. The minute it runs out of money, usually happens on the weekend, but by Saturday, Sunday, all your ATMs will have a blue sign. It'll say offline. Very common, especially here in the province. Very common. But with GCash now, just load money in your GCash. You can manage it that way. Debit card, you can buy groceries with debit cards, and just be ready. It's like if you think you're gonna need 10,000 pesos for the weekend, might want to withdraw it during the weekday or times when the ATM don't have a long line. But they do have long lines here. Long lines at ATM. Very common for ATMs to be offline here. The gentleman said no driving laws. There are driving laws, but not many people pay attention to them. It's like one of those things. Philippines got so many rules and regulations, but a lot of it, people think that it doesn't apply to them. It doesn't apply to you until you get caught or until police or somebody starts writing you a ticket or flags you down. We don't have many police in Calibo. We have they're called auxiliary, KAP, Calibo Auxiliary Police. They're not really police. They're just guys on yellow t-shirt with cap, KAP on the back. You won't see many police in Calibo. They're usually at the police station. They might come out once in a while, but usually the law here in the province, like even here in Numancia, is handled by the barangay captain. The barangay captain and the barangay tanod. Barangay captain, he hires his own people to like they just work. They carry like sticks. They don't even carry guns or anything like that. He says here, yeah, no driving, no laws. Crazy driver is many. Yeah, that's like, if you have a trouble, if you're having trouble with that, like with the crazy driving, no laws, then just don't drive. Don't drive. I mean, there's plenty of public transportation here. If you're not comfortable about driving or riding a motorbike here, you don't have to. But here in the Panay Island, to me, I can drive here. No problem. I can drive in Calibo. I can drive in Iloilo. Never had any issues driving in Panay Island. But if you ask me if I will drive in like Manila or Cebu City, no way. No way. I've never driven there. If I go to Manila or Cebu City, I'm riding Uber. I'm riding Uber or taxi. I'm not going to drive in that's just me now, because and I've been driving now here for many, many years. Over 10 years I've been driving here. I just do not feel comfortable driving in those areas because of the traffic and the aggressiveness of the drivers there. Don Magnus, all right, he says, get BDO, Banco de Oro, that's my bank. Just a suggestion, holidays are approaching, so take some extra cash instead of waiting until the last minute. And that's what I do. I always keep cash, and Gcash now. I always have Gcash loaded in the phone. Because pretty much I can pay for anything most of the time in Calibo using Gcash. Food at the food court, Jollibee, Mang Inesal, Shakey's Pizza, even 8 Ball Tavern. Yesterday, Emilio, we were at La Casa Española. There's really hardly any business now that you can't pay Gcash. So you just load your phone that way. But I also carry cash. I also carry some, cash with me because, cash is always king here. All right, let's see. Here, now Len, I think this guy is more positive. This guy, he says, nothing confuses me. It's called understanding that this ain't your country and things are not the same in many countries. What's confusing is that y'all immigrants come here and think your way is better, when we see how terrible things are in many Western countries. For those whom are, that's why they leave. That's why they leave. That's the thing, right? You're here in the Philippines, so something made you come here. You must not have been, something in the country where you came from. You weren't happy anymore, and you're finding a better situation. So that's why I said you gotta adapt. You gotta adapt. Like this guy was saying. So far, no problems with the housing or immigration. However, the Bureau of Customs in Cebu is snail-paced. Well, that's true. That anything government agency here, they move very slow. Everything island time. Remember island time. I cannot get used to the way they drive around here, but I'm trying to assimilate. At least the guy is trying. It is hard to get used to the driving here. Even for me, I've driven in Japan, I've driven in Korea, I've driven in other countries. When I first landed back here, and then I finally bought a car 2014, it was an adjustment, even for me. I've driven in a lot of different countries. It was a challenge. And what I've learned, you just have to be super defensive driving here, and you'll be okay, And this gentleman, he says, the requirements to start a business for my wife and family. Endless paperwork and fees with escalating requirements indicate that you have to be wealthy and well-connected to succeed. I agree. I've had experience. We've had a resto bar before. I don't recommend opening a business here. Yeah, even though it's gonna be under your Filipinas name and all that, I do not recommend. If you're gonna be involved in business, you're not supposed to anyway if you're on a tourist visa. But I know many people do. Businesses to me will just stress you here. Unlimited, like the guy's saying, permits, endless paperwork. You got to renew the paperwork every year, taxes, all kinds of issues. difficult to run a business here. And then this guy saying maybe the electricity scam in Mindanao, brownouts every weekend. The infrastructure is not there, but the build more houses do not have the output to provide already as time goes on brownouts. Yeah, brown power outages. It's just a part of life here. That's why now your solar power is becoming popular, dropping in prices. I don't think that's ever going to be fixed in the Philippines. The electricity problem. You're going to have power outages here. I don't care where you live in the Philippines, you're going to have power, especially during typhoons. When the typhoons comes, you can bank on your electricity going out. All right, let me see. Let me go back here. I think I got behind again on the comments here. All right, I think Fortune AM. Hola, Jocelyn. All right, LOL. After living 50 years, okay, that's it. I've read that. Colonel Matt MSL. All right, good morning, Colonel. All right, okay. Calgary, Alberta. All right. Oh yes, you don't like venomous snakes, dogs, karaoke, fire ants. Don't come to Leyte. Don't come to Leyte. I haven't been to Leyte, Billy. So, but hey, I believe you, brother. I believe what you're saying about Leyte. You know, you're my Leyte guy. You're my guy in Leyte, teaching me all about what's available in Leyte. Peanut butter travels. Hey, all right. Thank you. Hey, good morning, Michael S. Good morning, Gino and everyone. They will find you without the address. Marites, they're gonna find you. Oh yeah, you can hide. You can hide from the Marites. Marites here in the Philippines is kind of like, I guess they're the women that talk a lot with each other. You know, they'll find you. The Marites will find you here. Not a problem. I asked Google AI for La Casa Española address. Oh man. All right. Belus. Hi, Gino. Hannah. James and Karen's friend. Hello, Colonel. Hello, Hannah. Hi, GP. All right. I got to the bottom of the comments again there. Today is Kumon for Liana, so we'll have to wake her up, Mom, so I can take her to her Kumon. They don't open till 8:30, and it's 8:08, so we got time, but I got to take Liana this morning. All right, I hit all the comments from the live here, and I've discussed some of the I pulled this from it's the group's name is like Expats Philippines. For me, it's very entertaining. I like, because I like the banter on that because it's not all positive or it's not all negative. You can tell like there's always a debate. You know, I find it interesting. I find it funny when I read their discussions. You have any pets, Gino? Yes, we. Right now we're down to Totoy. Unfortunately, our Chloe passed away about a week ago. 11 and a half years we had our Shih Tzu Chloe, but now we're just down to Totoy now. Totoy, she's 9 years old. We love dogs. I've always been a dog lover. In our community here, most of the houses have dogs for pets. How was the fishing yesterday? They had a great time, Michael. They caught over 2 kilos of tilapia. We actually got to eat the first two. The first two, Mom, right? She caught the first 2 tilapia, good size. And what's nice about Lola is like, you don't have to bring food there. They can serve you. They served us pancit. They had lumpia, and then the first 2 fish that Mom caught. They actually cleaned the fish, gut the fish, and grilled it for us. So it was part of our lunch. And very inexpensive. That's why I like taking people to La Casa Española. And then, of course, over 2 kilos of tilapia that they brought home, and it was dinner last night. Did you guys finish all the tilapia, or there's still some?
There's some. Only we cook 5 pieces.
You cooked 5, so you got more. Yeah, more. Mom kind of lost her voice. You're losing her voice. But we got more tilapia to eat here. We got more tilapia. Wow, 20-ish dogs. That's a lot of dogs. That's a lot of. Here in our community, we live in a gated community, Hannah. They only, each home here, you're only allowed to have 2 dogs. But people here are the same, like in our gated community. They're like the same in the US, where they treat dogs like pets. That's becoming more common now in the Philippines. Unfortunately, outside gated communities, like anywhere you go in the Philippines, it's if you're a pet lover here, if you're a dog lover, it's difficult in the Philippines. You will struggle here because they just do not treat dogs well here. A lot of stray dogs, a lot of dogs here in cages. There's people. Sometimes I don't even know why people get dogs here. You know, there's people here that will get a dog and will cage the dog in like a cage, and the dog's always in the cage, you know, barking all the time. Of course, right? If I'm in a cage, I'll be mad too. I'll be mad too. You know, it's like, but it is what it is. You know, it's a country, it's a culture here where you have to respect the culture. That's they just don't treat dogs like family. There's more people now, you know, more Filipinos they're into dogs, but still not like in the U.S. You know, like in the U.S., you know, our dogs are part of our family. Here, there's some, but you know, many people don't treat their dogs like family members. I live on a farm. Yeah, when you live on a farm, yeah. Like James, like James and Karen, they got dogs there. You know, the dogs are free. It's got a big compound, so the dogs are nice and healthy. They get to run, they get to play. You know, it's awesome when they're in a farm. Here, unfortunately, you know, it's like just so many stray dogs. I think that the problem is they don't neuter them. They don't neuter or spay them because it costs money. The government doesn't do anything to neuter or spay them either, so they just multiply and multiply in the streets here. The dogs that are treated well here in the Philippines are the expensive dogs, the imported dogs. Like if a dog is like a pure breed, like a poodle or any pure breed dog, they're treated well because they're expensive. You know, people sell the dogs, have babies, and they'll sell the dogs. But like the local dogs, they call them here Aspin, Asong Pinoy, Aspin. They're just like, it's horrible. You know, they just don't treat them good here. To me, Dazzle and I always struggle seeing a lot of stray dogs here. A lot of times we bring dog food in our car so we can give them food, but man, it'll break your heart here if you're a dog lover, man. It's crushing. Even in Calibo, anywhere you go here, it's like crushing if you're a dog lover here. JP, what do they put on the fish when they grill it? Salt. All they do is salt, man. Sometimes they don't even put anything. They'll like scale it, you know, they'll scale, remove the scales, they'll put a little bit of salt, put it on the barbecue grill it both sides, and it's good. They don't put much. They don't put much on it. Because a lot of Filipinos, when they grill that tilapia, JP, they use soy sauce and calamansi. And then onions, like red onion. They'll chop red onions. They put soy sauce and calamansi. Calamansi is like the Filipino lemon lime, kind of in between lemon or lime. And they make a sauce and they dip their fish in that sauce. Very common. And sometimes pepper, like the spicy labuyo, like the pepper. At any restaurant you eat, any seafood restaurants, that's the sauce that people make with seafood that they eat, with fish especially. Nice, Gino. Sounds like a fun. Oh, they had a great time. Mom and Dazzle, they always have fun fishing because they're always competing. You know, they're like, to me, they're funny, man, because they both have their own bucket, you know, of the fish, and they're always eyeing the other person, like, how many you got in your bucket? You know, or who caught the biggest fish. They're very competitive. I think it's funny. It's funny because it's like they're so serious. They're so serious when they fish. they're like hiding from each other, like their fishing hole, because the Loola's fish farm is humongous. So they both like go in this spot, find another spot, and they don't tell each other. Like if they're catching at one area, they're hiding their fishing hole. They're pretty funny, man. They always like make me laugh. Oh dang, we rescued 4. Yeah, Toto is a rescue dog. When we moved here to Camellia Clan, Toto was a stray dog here. Really scruffy looking, looked like he's gonna, almost no hair, all, just like terrible. That's why I adopted. So, Toto is a rescue. But you see so many of that, man. It will break your, if you're a dog lover, it will break your heart here in the Philippines, because there's so many stray dogs here that's not treated well. 10 of them are Chihuahuas. Dazzle loves Chihuahuas. Dazzle, but we're no longer gonna get a dog. It's like after Chloe passed away, that was really tough on us, and that was our baby. 11 and a half years we had our Shih Tzu Chloe. So we promised Chloe when she's gone we weren't gonna replace her. We still have Totoy. When it's time when Totoy passes away, we won't have any dogs anymore. Just too hard, we got too attached, to Chloe. We still think about her. I mean, she was around here for like 11 and a half years. It's hard to like look around our house outside when we walk. There's so many memories of her. And we got videos of her pictures, on our YouTube. So she'll always be in our hearts. But it's not easy losing her. Good for you, Hannah. Rescuing these dogs is the best way. Yeah, Dazzle actually thought about that, but here there is a rescue in a clan rescue dogs here, but there's just so many. There's so many. It's like anywhere you go here, there's so many stray dogs. I mean, you can't rescue them all. We get our females fixed. Yeah, that's the problem here. They don't fix. The stray dogs don't get fixed, so they just keep multiplying everywhere. Working dogs. Oh, nice. They're working dogs. That's cool. They have a job. They have a job. They're like, what is that? Like a comfort dog for a person. Like, I forgot what they call them. I know in the U.S. they have that. I think they allowed that here too in the Philippines. There's a law now in the Philippines. Like so many laws in the US, they copy it here. The problem is a lot of times enforcement, and a lot of times people don't know. Like if it's like one of those dogs where it could be with the person anywhere, people will go up to you and say, we don't allow dogs in the restaurant or hotel. But service dogs, right? If it's a service dog, it's becoming more, there's a Philippine law now about service dogs, but most people don't know about it. So it's in the beginning stages, having a service dog here. Hope they treat me like an imported dog. Daniel, yeah, they do. And to me, that's silly, man. That's why I'm happy Toto is like Aspin, a local dog, Asong Pinoy. Because like, I don't understand that, man. Dogs are dogs. Dogs are like beautiful creatures, Why is an imported dog, Filipinos look at them better than like a local dog? To me, the dog's a dog. They're so sweet, man. Daniel, JB go Daniel. Will Dazzle tip over my fish bucket? Hey, I don't know, man. She's very competitive. I don't think she'll tip your fish bucket, because she'll know that, that's out of bounds. I don't think she'll tip your bucket, but she'll keep an eye on your bucket. She'll keep an eye on how much. She becomes serious when you got more in your bucket than in her bucket. She gets more serious. She'll move to like different places. She can't stay in one place because she's like, I'm not catching anything here. I'm moving to a different spot. Right, Mom? Yeah, that's what Dazzle. I'm looking for Dazzle at Loola's. I thought she was there. She's like, where's Dazzle? I'm like, and then Dazzle's sneaky too. Like, I filmed it yesterday. She's like hiding behind the bushes. She's got like trying to be camouflaged in the bushes. I was like, what are you doing, babe? I was like, giving her a hard time yesterday. Because she goes, the fish are gonna see me. The fish are gonna see me. So she's hiding behind bushes and like casting from behind the bushes. JP, Hannah, what work do Chihuahuas do? Tiny Slay. Tiny Slay, Tiny Slay. I always want to mention that I appreciate your daily positive energy. You and me are similar copies. Energy vibe from you is like looking in the mirror. All right, brother, for another. Thank you. God bless. God bless, my brother. Thank you for that, Michael. The least you may buy the African gray parrot, okay, and they will outlive you. Oh, okay. Yeah. They will talk to you. Just don't let the pit bull kill it. Don't let the pit bull kill it. Yeah. Yeah, I think we're pretty much, we're, yeah. Totoy will be our last pet. After Totoy, we're gonna be okay. And hopefully Totoy's got many more years. She's slowing down. We can tell Totoy's like over 9 years old now. She'll be 10 years soon. We can tell she's slowing down. She likes to sleep all the time now. Even when I try to walk Totoy, she's always like, you can tell she doesn't have a lot of energy to walk. Hope you're keeping well, champ. All right, thank you. Yeah, we're doing okay. We're doing good. JP, I might have to put a cover on my fish bucket and stay quiet. Yeah, there you go. That's a good idea. Put a cover in your fish bucket. All right, I got to the bottom. I'm gonna end the live stream. I'm done with my topic. I'm done with the comments here. I appreciate everybody's time this morning. Liana's getting ready. I'm gonna take her to Kalibo this morning for her kumon. Thank you everyone for joining the live stream. I appreciate everybody's time. Take care, everyone, and everyone, please stay blessed. Stay blessed. Let me see another comment. Thanks, Gino. All right, JP. All right, JP.